What's up, Flick Connection? This is Darren, and today I want to talk about the new movie Hostiles and several films you could or should watch before going to see this in the theaters this Christmas. So Hostiles is Christian Bale's latest movie. It's directed by Scott Cooper, who also did Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale. He also did Black Mass with Johnny Depp and Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges. So he's a great director. This is his latest. It looks really good. It's sort of a Western, which we don't really get that often anymore, so I'm excited to see that. But I've done a little research on this film, and I've got a list of movies that have a lot in common with Hostiles that you could watch beforehand to sort of tide you over until it comes out, but to also prep you and sort of get your palate ready for this new movie. If you're excited about Hostiles or come up with any additional recommendations to my list, definitely let us know in the comments, because people will read those comments and get additional recommendations, and that's what we're trying to accomplish here. So if you're excited to see Hostiles, I recommend you watch Out of the Furnace before going to see it. Now, this was done by Scott Cooper, written, directed by him, stars Christian Bale. Woody Harrelson is a savage in this movie. It's just really good. It is slow. It's a slow burn. I would think that Hostiles is going to be similar. All of Scott Cooper's work has been like that. But it's very interesting. Doesn't necessarily go where you think it's going to go. It's sort of a modern Western. So out of all of his movies, I think this is probably the best one to sort of prep you for Hostiles. It's not required to watch it, but it's going to be the closest thing to it. Same cinematographer, same composer. You're going to get more out of it by I think, watching this first. Now, Hostiles appears to feature a heavy Native American presence. It's about transporting a prisoner, the chief of a tribe, through hostile territory. And so it does have a heavy Native American element to it. So as far as Native American movies go, Last of the Mohicans would be a great one to rewatch. It's been a long time since I've seen that one. But if you're looking to watch something sort of in that vein, I recommend Last of the Mohicans. It's a great one from the 90s, but also maybe even more similar to Hostiles is Dances with Wolves. Thematically, the setting, I think it's going to have a lot in common with Hostiles, so that's a really, really good one to watch. I think some of what the story has to say is probably going to differ between those two, which makes it an even better one to watch, because it'd be interesting to see the differences sort of in the moral of both stories, considering that they're going to be set in similar settings.
$1 a bottle. It works wonders on wounds.
Works wonders on just about everything, huh? How was it with stings?
One that I will definitely be watching again, because it's just one of my favorite movies, is Outlaw Josey Wales. I recommend this one because it's a really good post-Civil War Western. Now, Hostiles takes place a good 30 years after the Civil War, but it's not that far after. Now, they may not be referencing it as much as Josey Wales does, but it does take place in essentially the same point in American history. There's not that big of a difference, so you're going to get a lot of similarities that way. And Josey Wales, it's got great lines. It's one of my favorite Clint Eastwood movies, which says a lot because he's in some great, great Westerns. But this one's just really one of the more well-rounded ones. And you've got people that love this movie, and there's people that have never seen it. So if you've never seen The Outlaw Josey Wales, make it a priority to watch this one, especially if you're excited to go see Hostiles. Another good sort of frontier, hostile, Native American territory movie is Dead Man with Johnny Depp, who also has worked with Scott Cooper. This is a great little black and white movie. It was directed by Jim Jarmusch. If you don't know who that is, it doesn't matter. It's a really bizarre kind of movie, but it's sort of a somewhat similar story from what I gather from Hostiles. It's definitely told in a completely different way. It's very stylistic, but it's a cool early Johnny Depp movie. You do kind of have to be in the mood for it, because it is an art film. So be prepared for that. It's not going to give you some of the elements that you're normally going to get in your typical Hollywood movie, but It is a unique experience in a similar setting to Hostiles, which is why I'm adding it to this list. So one that doesn't take place in America, it actually takes place in Australia, but it's just a really gritty Western, and it has a very similar feel to what I'm getting from the trailers for Hostiles, and that's The Proposition. Now this one stars Guy Pearce, and it's dark, it's gritty, it's an incredible Western. It was directed by John Hillcoat. It's one of his earlier movies. He went on to do The Road. He did Lawless and Triple Nine. His movies have actually sort of progressively gotten weaker, in my opinion, but this is by far his strongest, and it's big time strong. This one is probably the best movie on this list, and I'm gonna go ahead and just like call it now. Even though I'm excited to see Hostiles, I doubt it's going to be better than The Proposition. So there's one big reason to watch this one sooner than later. Another great one to watch is 3:10 to Yuma, the remake. It's got Christian Bale and Ben Foster, who's also in Hostiles. It's got them in a Western. It'd be interesting to see how they handle their characters differently between the two movies, even though they're sort of in similar time periods and settings. I'd be interested to see that. So for that alone, I'm going to watch it soon. But it's a good Western. It's one of the better Westerns that have come out in the last 10 years. And I enjoyed it a lot. It's really fun. One I wasn't too keen on at the beginning, but it's just watching the trailers for Hostiles has got me wanting to watch it again. And that's True Grit. And I'm actually going with the Coen Brothers version, even though I like the original better. The Coen Brothers version just has that look similar to what I think we're going to get out of Hostiles. So that's why I'm really itching to rewatch it. I didn't love it because I didn't think it was as good as the original John Wayne version. I grew up on that movie. I watched it a lot as a kid, and I was excited for the remake. It didn't do it for me. So I'll be watching it again just to see sort of what happens. Let me know in the comments which one you liked better. I'd be curious to see who liked the remake better than the original regarding True Grit. The only real modern movie I put on this list, modern in terms of being, taking place in modern times, is Hell or High Water. This was my favorite, or at least one of my favorites of 2016. I really, really enjoyed this movie. It's essentially a modern Western. The reason it's on the list isn't just because it's a modern Western. It's also because it stars Ben Foster, who's also in Hostiles. I really love him as an actor. He's just an amazing character actor, which I think is why you haven't seen him in many, if any, leading roles. It's because he does these amazing characters so well. So I'm really interested to see him in the new movie. But he's fantastic in Hell or High Water. I really enjoyed his character. He was a lot of fun. He put on some serious weight for that movie. But that's a great movie. If you feel like watching any of these along with me, let me know in the comments below. I'll be watching them between now and the time Hostiles comes out. I'll be seeing that in the theater. Maybe I'll talk about it here on the channel. So definitely subscribe. Likes are always appreciated. But thanks for watching, and you will see me next time.